good, fam? Thanks for joining me. Ooh.
Thanks.
What's good, fam? Thanks for joining me again for another GoatFormat video. So before I get started, just to let you know, if anybody wants to send me any duel videos, please do so at my email, which is in the description below. You can send it to me on Instagram, which is also in the description below, or you can send them to me on Dueling Book. My Dueling Book username is GrindingGoatFormat. Just make sure that you guys are on the ladder on rated, which is the top 200 players. I think the 200th player right now is around 628, if I'm not mistaken. Just keep an eye on that rating. Try to aim for that. As long as you're there, I'll absolutely put your videos up. Or if you are not on the ladder, if you want to showcase some kind of cool deck, please send them over. I'll go ahead and post that. Or if you beat somebody that's on the ladder that's over 1,000, even if you're not on the ladder, I'll just go ahead and post your video, guys. But anyways, let's just hop into this match. Today we have MMF, who we all know as the empty jar guy, playing against AJTBLS, who's a really good player. He also has his own YouTube channel, so shout out to both of these guys. Let's see who's going to win this rock, paper, scissors. So AJTBLS wins the rock, paper, scissors, and they're going to choose to go first. Opening hand for AJT is Graceful Charity, Sangan, Gravekeeper Spy, Kaiku, Pot of Greed, which is a really strong hand. MMF's hand is Tsukiyomi, Magician of Faith, Serpent, Thunder Dragon, and Night Assailant. 6th card for AJT is Tsukiyomi, so obviously he's going to drop the Pot of Greed now. Draws himself into Breaker and Nobleman a Crossout. You don't necessarily want to activate this Graceful Charity yet. You should wait till you have some kind of Night Assailant combos, or until you have a Sinister Serpent, which is the same thing he's probably thinking right now. So there's two plays. There's really three plays you can do. One is 2-in-1 basically. You can either summon Sangan or set Sangan. The reason you would summon it is to make sure that this Graceful Charity goes off. You might want to set it to make sure that this Gravekeeper Spy doesn't get knocked, because if they waste a knock on this, then you can just set your Spy pretty safely. But let's see what he's going to do here. He sets Sangan and passes over. MMF draws into Graceful Charity, which is awesome because he's got Thunder Dragons, he's got Serpent, and he also has a Night Assailant. So he's obviously going to get rid of the Thunder Dragon, get the other pair. Activate Graceful. Gets himself a Wing Blast, a Snatch Steal, and a Pot of Greed. So his hand wound up being a lot stronger than AJT's. Obviously, he's going to get rid of these Thunder Dragons. And now activate Pot of Greed. Gets himself Solemn Judgment and a Magician of Faith. So at this point, you don't have to be scared about the Nobleman because you have 2 Faiths. So you can just go ahead and set the Faith, maybe with the Wing Blast by itself, and just pass. You don't necessarily have to set the Solemn Judgment. But let's see how he does this here. The reason I say you don't have to set the Solemn Judgment is because at this point, if they heavy you, then you're paying 4 grand to stop the heavy and just hold on to a Wing Blast. You already potted in Graceful, so you might even want to let this go through. But let's see how he does. So BLS draws into a Night Assailant, which is good because he has a Graceful Charity play. Let's see what he does here. So MMF activates Wing Blast right away on the face down. And it's unfortunate that he passed it over, so he misclicked on that. The reason for this is because if that was a Magician of Faith, then obviously he would get to flip it and activate Pot of Greed again. So he summons Kaiku, activates Nobleman a Crossout. The knock gets solemned, so you can tell that this is something that he really wants, presumably a Magician of Faith. So let's see what he does here. He could Graceful now because he has a Night Assailant combo and try to dig for that Nobleman. So he draws himself into a Sangan, Thunder Dragon, and Regeki Break, which is good. So he's just going to activate this Night Assailant combo right now. Get himself back his Spy. Now he can just activate Thunder Dragon and then just set Regeki Break and not attack. Because as soon as MMF draws, then he can just activate Regeki Break and kill the Magician. So that's exactly what happens. MMF draws into Nobleman. Right away, BLS activates Regeki Break, chucks Thunder Dragon, I'm assuming, and hits the face down Magician of Faith. And now he's got a wide open board, so MMF could actually swing in with this Kaiku. The question is, does he want to swing in with the Kaiku and set Faith, or does he want to go for the Tsukiyomi combo? The problem is that if he leaves it up with the Snatch Steal, then he's susceptible to Breaker, to MST, and to Heavy Storm. All 3 which we haven't seen yet. So maybe you want to go for the Tsukiyomi play just for that. So he goes for the Tsukiyomi play, gets a light and a dark out, and then sets Nobleman as a bluff and passes over. So okay, BLS has a breaker, and he has a Tsukiyomi in his hand. The safe play could be to summon the Tsukiyomi and then just try to hit the Kaiku, but if that happens, then it leaves him with an open board. Second plays could be obviously summoning Breaker and swinging. His opponent had only 2 traps last turn with the Solemn Judgment, so you could say that there's not another trap there to set it to protect this Kaiku, because it would have just been set the turn before. So it could be safe right now to summon this Breaker and just swing at the Kaiku, which is exactly what he's doing right now. Swings at the Kaiku, and then main phase 2 breaks the face down. So he goes 2 for 1, hitting the Nobleman as well. And there's nothing else to do, so he just passes over. MMF draws into a Mirror Force. That's not doing much here. Obviously, he's going to set this Magician of Faith with the Mirror Force and pass. Right, get back your Serpent, guys. Don't forget that Serpent. So let's see what he does. Okay, so he summons Tsukiyomi, swings at the Breaker. Now sets Magician of Faith. Sets the Mirror Force and passes over. BLS draws into Regeki Break. So now's the best time to just summon the Sangan because he's got an open board. So the Sangan drops, hits for 1,000. MMF is left at 2,900. Now you can set the Regeki Break because you have a Thunder Dragon to pitch with it. And also if it dies, then you can just chuck your Magician of Faith. But let's see what happens here. Just sets Regeki Break, passes over. MMF draws into Ring of Destruction. So again, there's not much to do here. You could set the Tsukiyomi if you just want to defend yourself. Or you could set the Magician of Faith if you want to get your Graceful Charity back. So he does set the Magician of Faith, also sets the Ring of Destruction. So the power spells right now are Graceful and Pot. But you have the Serpent, so you might as well just go for the Pot. And you have an Night Assailant. BLS draws into another Gravekeeper Spy. So normally you don't really want to attack face downs with Sangan. There's only a few times you do it, and that's when they have a power spell. Because you don't necessarily want them to flip Magician of Faith. Any other time you don't want to do it. It's not going to get through Dekochi, it's not going to get through Gravekeeper Spies. People play Tomatoes now, it's not going to get through Tomatoes. Mainly when you're playing against old school GOAT format. I know it's funny to call it that. I mean, what I mean by that is old school GOAT control. The face downs are Magician of Faith, Magical Merchant, what else? Morphing Jar, Sangan, Serpent. So the Sangan can get through to that. But nowadays that is not too safe. He is going to swing with this Sangan, I'm assuming, because you don't want this Magician of Faith to flip, and then he has Tsukiyomi. He could draw into a Metamorphosis, which is not going to do anything right now unless he sets the Spy. But he could draw into a Metamorphosis. He could tribute for it. He could do things with it. So it's just better to get the Magician of Faith off the board. But let's see what he does here. He goes into battle phase, swings at the face down. Faith flips up, gets some Graceful Charity. Now you can set the Spy. Pass over. MMF draws into Book of Moon. So obviously activate Graceful Charity now. Draws himself into Wing Blast. Gravekeeper Spy into Kochi. So obviously getting rid of these two is the play right now. Get back your Magician of Faith. Now the question is, do you set Kochi or Faith? You could set Kochi to defend. You have a Wing Blast. I'm not too sure if you're gonna Wing Blast his face down though, because you don't have discard fodder. But let's say he knows that this is a Spy because he did get it back off a Night Assailant. He would probably swing with the Spy first, so it wouldn't make a big difference. Might as well set Magician of Faith in my opinion. But let's see what he does. So he does set Magician of Faith, and he actually sets the Wing Blast, which surprises me. Anyways, he's gonna pass over. BLS draws into Torrential Tribute, and MMF plays Wing Blast right away, getting rid of his Dekochi and putting the Spy back. That was again obviously to make sure that he doesn't have a Magician of Faith to flip up right now. Let's see what his next play is. He could just swing with the Sangan and then set Gravekeeper Spy one more time. So the Faith's gonna get back Graceful Charity. Sets Torrential, sets Spy also, passes over. MMF draws into Heavy Storm, which isn't gonna do much for him now. So just get back your Sinister. Activate Graceful. Gets himself Breaker, Solemn Judgment, and Dekochi. So let's think about this. Gravekeeper Spy is good to hold on to, so is Heavy, so is Book, so is Solemn. Depending on how many Magician of Faiths he has, he may want to hold on to the Tsukiyomi. Also, if he plays Metamorphosis, he wants to hold on to the Tsukiyomi. So I'm going to assume Sinister and Dekochi, but let's see what his play is. So, so he gets rid of Sinister and Tsukiyomi. So I don't think he's playing Metamorphosis. And I'm also thinking that his Magician of Fates are all gone. That's just a read I'm making by the discards. Let's see what he does next. He summons Breaker. Breaker gets hit by Regeki Break. And now set Solemn Judgment and Book of Moon. Pass over, BLS draws into the other Spy. So now you can flip your Spy if you have a third one and put the other one in defense mode. And try swinging for the fences now. There's not much else to do. Okay, so he puts it in attack mode. Accepted. Okay, he goes into battle phase. This might get Mirror Force out. Yeah, this would be lethal, so Mirror Force is gonna come out right now. Okay, so let's see what he searches for. He's been looking for a Serpent this whole time, so maybe he's gonna get that now. Sets his other Spy. Okay, passes over. MMF draws into Night Assailant. I think he does have a Night Assailant combo, but he doesn't have anything to go with it. So he's just going to pick up his Sinister right now. And then set Spy if you want to defend. I mean, he hasn't seen Nobleman yet. So maybe he doesn't want... He saw one Nobleman. The other Nobleman hasn't come up yet. So it's either one of these two. At this point, he doesn't have much stuff to combat with, so he might just want to set this Spy and pass. So he actually summons Dekochi. This is probably, again, because he keeps reading Magician of Faith. And again, you don't want them to just flip Magician of Faith, so this was a good play by MMF. Unfortunately, this is the Spy. If the Spy's going to flip, he's going to take 6. Let's see if he plays guard. No guard. BLS draws into a Chaos Sorcerer. So he could go ahead and Sork this Dekochi. But it doesn't do much, and he also doesn't have any protection for it, so I'm assuming he's just going to pass over. So now he summons Tribe Infecting Virus. Tries to kill the Dekochi. Dekochi gets Book of Moon. So now he's going to swing, and this might eat the Ring of Destruction. Okay, no. So he drops the Sork. Let's see. So Mirror Force is gone. Torrential's not gone. So he's just playing into that. Let's see what happens now. So he's going to try to go for game again. Yeah, that's unfortunate, right? He already went into battle phase. Let's look at this. Let's look at this log. Boom. Summon Chaos Sork 633. Yeah, so this is perfectly fine. It's unfortunate that he went into battle phase first. But that was perfectly fine. That was only 10 seconds. So the Chaos Sork gets Solemned. Drops him down to 1100. And this is going to be game regardless, right? So swing. And yeah, this is game. Okay, so game 2, MMF's going to choose to go first. Opening hand for MMF is Mind Control Nobleman, Dekochi, Ring, Wing Blast. 6 card is Dekochi. AJT's opening hand is Kaiku, Tribe, Sork, Sinister, and Regeki Break. So this is a good little combination here. There's really not much to do here. Set Dekochi, set Ring of Destruction is the play. Obviously, because you don't want to set this Wing Blast and get heavied. Also, the Wing Blast isn't going to do anything. If you activate it, you're forced to go 2 for 1 right now. So, yeah, let's just go with that. Also, the Ring of Destruction gets rid of Breaker if he chooses to summon it on opener. Passes over, BLS draws into Delinquent Duo. So I'm assuming he's going to drop this Duo ASAP. Chooses the knock. And then Wing Blast gets chucked. Summon Kaiku. I think I hit the button too many times. BLS summons Kaiku, and then MMF responds with Ring. So what I was going to say about Duo, and I've mentioned this in my videos before, the reason you activate Duo right away is because you don't want to give your opponent any information. You don't want to summon, do this, do that, and then Duo, because then your opponent goes, okay, so I have to hold on to this card. Let me not discard this card. As opposed to you just shotgunning it right away, your opponent doesn't have any reads on you. So he's just going to have to make a decision based on what he has, as opposed to what you have. But anyways, it gets Kaiku gets Ring of Destruction. And then Regeki Break's going to come down. And it might actually get shotgunned as soon as he draws, but let's see what he does. MMF draws into Magician of Faith, and no shotgun. Okay, so he's going to flip this Dekochi. Draws himself into Spy, swing for 14. And he doesn't have any power spells in the graveyard, so he's not going to set the Magician of Faith. But he might just go ahead and set this Dekochi again. Pass over, BLS draws into Pot of Greed, which was a really good draw. Activates Pot, gets Magician of Faith and a Trap Dust Shoot. So this is game 2. You should be watching out for Mind Control. Maybe you want to set this Serpent, but then if it gets knocked, you're screwed. Let's think about this. He has a Regeki Break, so he's not going to set this Serpent. I know in one of my videos I had a Kaiku in my hand and I set that so he can get Nobleman. So that is a play here. Let's see what BLS does. I'm not saying he's going to do that. So he just sets the Faith, sets the Dust Shoot and passes over. MMF draws into Book of Moon. Let's go through these phases and see what happens. So he gets the main phase fine, so obviously he's going to flip this to Kochi. Okay, no, sorry guys. The Dust Shoot gets played. That's probably going to send back this Magician. Okay, no, so sets back the Spy. I mean, he doesn't have anything to answer the Faith. Okay, so he sends back the Spy. I'm not too sure why he did that. Because he could answer the Spy with the Tribe Infecting Virus. Magician of Faith is just going to get mind controlled. But let's see what happens after this Dekochi draw. Power spell? No, okay, so he gets himself a Night Assailant. Mind control is going to come down. Probably getting him back on mind control. Swing for 2,800. And now just set Book of Moon and pass. End phase, Regeki Break comes down on the Book of Moon. BLS draws into Nobleman. So he's got a dark, he does not have a light. He does have this Tribe Infecting Virus. Let's see what he does here. Calls Machine. Swings for 1,600. And then sets the knock as a bluff, which you have to do at this point. He's at 1,000. Draws himself into a Sangan. I'm sorry, guys. Draws himself into a Solemn Judgment. So let's see. Set Night Assailant could be the play. Set Night Assailant with Solemn. Okay, no. So he activates Mind Control, chucks for Tribe Virus, calling Spellcasters. Is he gonna get himself back into Kochi? He's gonna try to go for game right now. Amazing play by MMF. Those are those things that too many people don't think about. Even I didn't think about that. But it's dope. This is the reason really why I do these videos, guys, is so that we can both learn how to play our cards better. But anyways, AJTBLS goes first. His opening hand is Night Assailant, Knock, Graceful, MST, and Thunder Dragon, which is dope. Let's see what his 6 card is. Hopefully he's not Thunder Dragon. He draws into Snatch Steal. MMF's first hand is, opening hand is Double Dekochi, Breaker, Thunder Dragon, Dust Shoot. I usually side this out going second, but that's just me. That's my preference. So obviously he's going to activate Thunder Dragon. Gets himself another pair of Thunder Dragons. Now activate Graceful. Oh, check that out. He just sets MST. Wow, okay. I'm going to have to ask him why he did that. Maybe because if MMF draws into a duo, he won't duo him. I'm not too sure why he did that, but let's see. MMF draws into a Heavy Storm. Obviously, he's going to activate this Thunder Dragon right now. Gets himself another pair of Thunder Dragons. And you don't really want to summon this Breaker unless you want this Dushu to really go off. I usually don't summon Breaker on opener because people usually set Book of Moon, Ring of Destruction. But this is a big boy play right now. He's basically saying, I know that he's going to think this is something like that, so he may not summon Breaker. But MMF might just drop it anyways, just to make sure this Dushu goes off. So he doesn't. He just double sets the coach. He passes over. End phase hits the Dust Shoot. BLS draws into his own Dust Shoot. So now you can Graceful. Draws himself into a second Dust Shoot. A Mind Control and a Magician of Faith. Let's see. There's no power spells in this graveyard, so this is probably just a Dekochi in BLS's mind. Obviously chucks himself the 2 Thunder Dragons, I'm assuming. And then the play just goes from here. You can Nobleman this face down if you want. And then just set everything else. So he sets the Night Assailant. Okay. Draws into Delinquent Duo. Activates Dust Shoot. That's going to get Breaker out of the way. Right away activates Duo. Gets the Snatch Seal out of the way. Maybe the Mind Control comes down next. Summons Dekochi. That's going to get eaten up by Night Assailant. Passes over. BLS draws into Kaiku. He knows he doesn't have anything. He could summon this Kaiku now and try to get aggressive. Okay, so he chooses to set Magician of Faith because he knows he doesn't have a Nobleman. MMF draws into a Breaker, which is crazy. Did he shuffle his deck? Pointed at Breaker. Returned it to the deck. Activated Duo. So he didn't shuffle his deck. Let's see if BLS catches that. Okay, so he caught it himself. Shuffles. Okay, so let me just say, MMF showed a lot of character right now. Some people wouldn't have said anything, but these top duelists, most of them, really care about their name, and it was just dope that he actually shuffled that back in. I do it myself, but a lot of people, they just draw into it and they use the, I have it. But anyways, he draws himself into a Sinister Serpent, sets it face down, passes over. BLS draws into Duo, which doesn't do anything, but he might activate it anyways. Draws himself into Magician of Faith. I mean, flips his Magician of Faith. I'm sorry, guys. Activates Nobleman. Summons Kaiku. Swings for 21. And just passes over. MMF draws into Wing Blast. Sets it in pass. BLS draws into Regeki Break. So now you can just keep swinging. Sets Regeki Break and passes. MMF draws into Nobleman, so he's not drawing into good stuff right now. Passes over. BLS draws into Ring of Destruction. So just keep swinging. Sets the Duo. And sets Regeki Break, passes over. MMF draws into Solemn, so now the Dust Shoot's going to go off again. Showing Nobleman, Thunder Dragon, Solemn Judgment. Wing Blast and Heavy's face down. He's not going to, I don't think he's going to activate this Heavy Storm. He doesn't have any plays to do right now. So he does do it in order to I guess, just go for advantage. I mean, he's at 13. This Ring of Destruction would have killed him. Wing Blast puts it back up. So he's just going to set the Solemn Judgment. I'm confused why Magician of Faith went to graveyard. Yeah, so he's going to set the Solemn. The Kaiku's going to get Solemns. Switches the Faith into attack mode, swings. That's going to leave him at 350, passes over. And MMF draws into Graceful Charity. Let's see if he can turn this game around, right? Draws Magician of Faith, Solemn Judgment, and Snatch Steal. So I'm sure he's hoping that he kept this Nobleman in his hand. So let's see. The comeback would be drawing more cards. Yeah, it would be drawing more cards. Unless you want to set this Solemn Judgment and make sure that you... No, I mean... Yeah, this is hard. Drawing more cards would be the play. I mean, he could just draw into something else and start swinging. That only leaves him at 50, though. Let's see what he does here. Yeah, drawing more cards is the play, right? Oh, dude. BLS draws into knock. Plays it. So now he's at 500. I mean 50, guys. I'm sorry. Draws himself into Sangan, which isn't that bad. I mean, he's at 50, so it's not that good either. He's probably gonna set it now too, because even a Dekochi or a Spy over this Sangan wins the game. Okay, so no, so he swings over, passes. BLS draws into Heavy Storm, sets it and passes. MMF draws into Sork, which is not live, unfortunate. You can set this to defense mode and pass so that it doesn't, so you don't lose. Anyway, he swings for 1,000 and passes. Okay, no. Smart play. He puts it in defense mode, so he doesn't die. Passes over. BLS draws into his own Sangan. Drops the Sangan, just passes over. MMF draws into Solemn Judgment, which is good. Passes over. BLS draws into a Gravekeeper Spy, so maybe he's going to activate Heavy now because he knows he has a Nobleman. That's going to get Solemned. And that's the game because he knows no Nobleman's down, so now it's just summon Spy and then swing with both cards. But this was a pretty dope game, man. Shout out to both of these players. Both of these players are elite players. I think MMF right now is number 2 on the ladder. AJTBLS, I know is top 10 on the ladder. Both amazing people. I've spoken to both of these guys. They're both really cool people. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video if you liked it. Share this video with your friends, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to help support this channel, check out my TCG player link in the description below, or you can check out my merch channel, which is also in the description below, guys. And let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to do for my channel, guys. And I'll see you on the next one, all right? Peace.